Okay. Visitor, I'm not expecting anyone. Bop, bop, bop. Who is it? Your visitor is ID unknown. What the? I didn't tell you I was expecting someone. Why'd you let them in? I'm sorry, I did not understand the question. Stupid fucking thing, I'll see for myself. Lady? Oh, it's probably the lady who changed her identity or whatever. You can put that gun away. Who are you? Got a nice place up here. They pay you well. Show me your face. Turn around. Okay. Lila? Who? Oh, right, my face. I don't like it, to be honest. Wait, it's you. You're the one who assaulted Lila. I'm Zora. Nice to meet you. Slowly put your hands up. I'm here to talk. Put your hands up or I'll be forced to shoot. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You can make your own decisions. What do you want? We need a guy in the CDI to help us out with a few things. And why the fuck would I do that? We have your daughter. I should have led with that. You what? We took your daughter, Laura. No, you're full of shit. You can ask your ex. She's not at home. Where is she? She's safe with us. You work for the Liberators, right? I have a record of your conversation with the man who shot Banny. Is stealing little girls really how they're trying to stand up for their ideals? You'd have to ask them. I don't know or care what they believe in. We're just getting paid. Or rather, we were supposed to, but then you showed up and botched the final step of the plan. The Liberators asked you to steal the Chief's data and deliver it to them? So you pieced that together already, yes. What was on that stick that made it so important? No idea. Wait, you don't know either? I thought you had the drive. I don't, and I don't think I'll get my hands on it anytime soon. Who has it then if you don't? My superiors, if it still exists at all. That complicates things. I guess we'll have to move on to Plan B right away. Since the handover went south, the Liberators refused to pay us. We need that data to get our money after all. This is where you come in. If you figure out what the data's about, we might be able to locate it in the CDI database and extract it. I'll send you a private sheet to your cell. Submit it to us once you've found out. I will do no such thing. Don't be difficult, and hand me your cell for a minute, will you? Why? You don't need it to open a sheet. That's for something else. I need it to access the CDI network for a moment. What for? To set up a back door for our hack. Why are you telling me all this? I could arrest you right here but you won't, and I doubt that you could. I'm telling you this because we work together now. The better you do your part, the sooner our client pays us, and the sooner you see your daughter again. If you do anything on my cell, they will trace it back to me. Don't worry, I'll use someone else's credentials. Whose credentials? Doesn't matter, give me your cell. At least tell me who I'd be throwing under the bus. Gary Long. What? No, his job means everything to him. Is that really more important to you than Laura's safety? Come on, she's your only bargaining chip. I'll try to find out what the data was about. That's gotta count for something. You're definitely not increasing your chances if you don't. If you don't cooperate now. I don't think that I should have them use Gary's login. I'm trying to decide whether it's use my login or I can't do it. Use my login. You wouldn't want to get yourself in trouble like this. No, you wouldn't want me to get in trouble like this. I'm too important for you. So we agreed. Has to be your colleague's credentials. Use my credentials or I'm not giving it to you. Fine, but my boss won't be happy about it. This wasn't the plan. Done. So that's it then? I gave you access and I'll tell you all I find out about the data. You'll let Laura go now, right? This was just the first step. If you keep cooperating, you'll see her again soon. Please just let her go. She doesn't have to suffer like this. I'll help you anyway so you can leave us alone. No can do. Sorry, it's not my call. Is this really what you want to do with your life? Murder and child abduction? I don't have time for this. We're done here. Answer my question. How do you live with yourself? You work for the CDI. Don't you kill and abduct people all the time? Spare me your moral relativism crap. I'm not a mercenary. Sure you are. CDI is trying to do the right thing. You do whatever the highest bidder tells you to do. The right thing? What kind of childish nonsense do you believe in? You don't have to believe in anything to not be evil. I don't believe in anything in particular, and yet here you are talking about good and evil. Because we know what that is. We have an intuition for it. Bullshit. There's no such thing. We invented it. No. Look, this lizard over there. He's my friend. He's never done anything evil. He can't. All animals just do shit for a while and then they die. Look, you try and keep me talking? You can't pretend to not care about anything. In fact, I know you do. You were separated from someone you care about. What are you talking about? The sniper we caught. You care about him, don't you? You wanted to start a new life with him. That's none of your business. But it's funny you mention him. Thanks to you and your colleagues, I won't ever see him again. Didn't you just tell me it was bad to put people away against their will? My daughter didn't harm anybody. Your friend killed someone and might start a war. I'll be back with more instructions.
As soon as the woman disappeared into the night, my facade slipped and I nearly collapsed on the balcony floor. I took out my cell with shaking hands and tapped on Laura's face in my contacts. Maybe. She didn't pick up. I resisted the urge to call Catherine next. I couldn't just tell her about what had happened. She knocked on my door in the early morning, but I didn't open. I tried to decide on a course of action, but I couldn't concentrate. My mind alternated between trying to remember my last conversation with Laura and conjuring up horrible images of her tied to a chair in some basement. Sometime later, my alarm rang. I got up to go to work, not sure if I was ready to talk to Kat. I must have stood outside her apartment for a few minutes when I finally made a decision.
Objectives updated. I guess I could decide to avoid her, but I'm not going to do that. Neil, where the fuck have you been? I've tried to call you a million times. I even came to your apartment. I'm so sorry. Laura still isn't home. I've called all her friends and nobody knows anything. Looks like she never went to that party. Shit, Neil, what do I do now? Listen, Kat. Kat, I know what happened to her. What? She was abducted. They took her to blackmail me. I'm so sorry. What are you saying? Who took her? I'm not sure yet. Seems like they're a group of mercenaries involved in Banny's murder. No. They promise they won't harm her if I do what they say. How can you do that to us? I didn't. It's not like I allowed them to take her. You have to tell the CDI. Maybe they can find out where she is and get her out of there. It's too risky right now. I'm afraid of what they'll do if they find out I snitched. And you think that people who abduct children and murder foreign ministers give a shit about their promises? I'm still evaluating the situation. I'll do everything in my power to keep her safe. What do they want from you? They want me to leak information about the case I'm investigating, about the Liberators. Please, Kat, trust me with this, okay? I won't let them do anything to her. I have to go. I'll call you as soon as I hear anything, and you do the same, okay? All right. I'll be here all day. I should have known the only reason to introduce a daughter would be to have her be abducted, sadly. Who is this? Dad! Laura, where are you? Why didn't you let them use the login they wanted? Please, Dad, they're going to hurt me if you don't listen to them. You need to get me out of here. They swear they'll let me go if you do what they ask. I know how important your job is to you, Laura. But how bad can the things be that they're asking you? Please, I want to finish my novel. Laura, listen to me. I'll get you out of there, okay? Stay calm and do what they say. I have this under control. We'll see each other soon. I need to go. Trying to force me to do what they want. I can't move right now. They're like, the emotion overtakes you. You gotta take a beat. Time to download the news. Banny's murderers speak. Less than 24 hours after Banny's death, an organization calling itself the Liberators has claimed responsibility for the attack. It was a scene right out of a movie, with greens all over the Capitol playing the radical message. You weren't there? This is what they said. So I guess if you missed it. So far, authorities have not confirmed that the people sending the message were in fact involved in Foreign Minister Banny's death, or what the chilling announcement at the end might pertain to. Disclaimer, Gazarian Gazette does not support this message and continue to stand in togetherness and inclusivity in these difficult times. Morning, comrade. You look pale. You sick? No, I'm fine. Hope you got some rest after yesterday's incident. Let me bring you up to speed. Chief said he's making some announcement this morning. Didn't sound good at all. But we'll see him in a few minutes. We're running a planet-wide search for Cox, but he didn't turn up yet. Still can't believe that fucker got away. You should go talk to Saito. He's in our office and has some new intel on more on Cox for you. Okay, I'm on it. Listen, comrade, I might have been a little intense these past few days. These are special circumstances. You understand that, right? Sure, it's been hard on all of us. I gotta run. Talk to you later. I got an email. I mean, what public transportation? Oh, I can't go down there. Alright. Good morning, Neil. Hey, Saito. Gary told me you have some new intel for me? Indeed. I put everything on our pin board over there. Let me give you a quick overview. First, I assembled some basic information on James Moore and his wife. Second, I managed to pull their recent bank statements. Maybe find something useful in there. That's all I could get my hands on for now, but I got more coming tomorrow. And third, I took a look at the CV of the guy who fired at you, Albert Cox. And guess what I found? He's a Soviet and he grew up on Drovia. Oh, that's a surprise. I suspected he was working with the Liberators. Well, who knows? He still might. What's also interesting is that he changed his name 20 years ago. Shoot, we're running late to that meeting with the chief. Let's go, I'll tell you the rest on the way. Cox was born as Albert Bolton. His parents owned a big company at the time, Bolton Security Services. They were responsible for the safety of the Soviet colony on Drovia. You mean Sector 2, the one that blew up 40 years ago? Exactly. Bolton Security was sued into oblivion over the incident and eventually went bankrupt. When Cox had finished school, he changed his name and moved to Gara. That's when he founded his own security company using some grant money. Thank you, Saito. Great work as always. Oh, it's nothing. I just did some advanced browsing. Before we go in, I need to ask, is everything alright? You look not great. Just didn't get enough sleep lately. Thanks for asking. Chief, I think everybody's here. Let's start. Thank you all for coming. As many of you know, I've been working with CDI for 28 years now. I've done everything in my power to defend the values of our planet stands for. Principles of freedom, tolerance, equal rights for everyone, and justice have been guiding all of my actions. I've always been proud of the work and our commitment to the Garian democracy. Sadly, the path to justice isn't always clear, and we have to make difficult decisions. The murder of Joseph Banny has severely harmed the relationship between our planet and Drovia, and it puts the fragile peace of the solar system at risk. The Domestic Terrorism Division was charged with protecting Banny under my leadership. In light of our failure to do so, the Attorney General and I have agreed the only appropriate response is for me to resign from my duties at the CDI, effective immediately. I hope the separatist groups on Drovia will consider this a sign of sincere remorse, and of our intention to make up for the damage that has been done. I enjoyed working with all of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that each of you will find your way of fighting for justice. I will still be in my office today if there are any open questions or issues you want me to talk about. My successor will be announced by the Attorney General in the near future. Starting tomorrow, Agent Long will be taking over my responsibilities until a permanent replacement is found. Thank you and goodbye. I mean, that makes sense. But it's also, you know, he also did that data leak. So more than one reason why he might need to be gone. Objectives updated. Updated to what? Talk to Gary and talk to the chief. Let me see if I can find the chief. Come on. Go up the stair. Go up! Why you no go up? Refusing to go up the stairs. Alright. This is where I just came out of, I'm pretty sure. Alright, maybe I need to go down the stairs. Hello, Conrad. How can I help you? I wanted to say goodbye. It was good working for you. Thank you, I appreciate it. I have to admit, I'm surprised by your decision. It's not like you could have done much more to protect Banny. Come on, comrade. We both know that doesn't matter. Heads needed to roll for this. Chief. Why did we arrest Cox? I mean, it looks like it was the right call, but we didn't know at the time, and why didn't you give us the arrest order yourself? The AG didn't tell me why she wanted to do it, so I refused to give the order. So you don't know either? No, seems like it's classified, same as the information on that stick. I see. Chief. You were fired for something else, weren't you? You have the cleanest track record. I can't imagine they'll throw you out over your first slip-up. I wasn't fired, I resigned. Is it about the data they stole from you? Come on, something isn't right here. This is the first time we've ever been denied access to information relevant to the case we're investigating. This one is out of your league. Just respect the chain of command. I see. I'll have to pack up my things now. I wish you the best for your career at CDI. Thank you. Your cell contacts haven't changed lately, have they? Haven't changed in years. Good. So we will keep in touch. See you around, Agent Conrad. So it's interesting that Gary is going to be the interim head, because if we had used his credentials, I wonder if that would have put me in position to be the head once he got caught. But I was not willing to throw my friend under the bus. Thought he'd be down here, but I guess not. Maybe outside? Nope. Alright. Gonna go back. Gonna go back in here. Gonna go over here. Gonna try and find the guy who I need to talk to. Gary, where are you? Gary, where are you? Maybe you are in here. Nope, that's the conference room that we came out of. He's not in there. Do. Already looked in there. Let's see. This is the stairs we can't go up. So it's gotta be... Where are you, my dude? Not in here. Not in here. Can't go in there. This is the chief's office. I already talked to him. Not expect this. What a day, huh? There he is. That was unexpected. Fuck, I can't believe I'm standing in for the chief. I never thought they would pick me. I have to call my wife. Guess I'll be doing some overtime the next few days. Don't you think it's strange the AG fired him? Gotta admit, she never really liked him. Maybe she was waiting for an opportunity. But someone had to get fired for Banny's death, just for the optics, don't you think? Maybe, but the chief always did an excellent job. It didn't have to be him. I'm not thrilled about it either, but we should focus on the Liberator's threat. I don't want to start my new job with a string of terror attacks. Let's recap what we got so far. Listen up, squad. Time for a little wrap-up. I suppose you're all as surprised as I am about our chief's sudden retirement. However, we need to focus on the Liberators and their plans now. Let's go over everything we've got so far once more. Drovia's Foreign Minister Banny was shot last night by a sniper who goes by the name of Boit. Boit then went to see a woman called Zora, which seems to be a deviation from their original plan. He convinced her to hand him a stick with confidential stolen data. The next morning, Boit met another man to hand him that data, Abraham Gonzalez, CEO of the Drovian company Power Up. We were able to extract a deleted message from Gonzalez's cell, which proves that someone paid him to fetch the stick and send the data to an unknown address once he was outside the Garian network. This leads us to believe that the data cannot be sent unnoticed via the web, which applies only to the best-kept secrets of the Garian government. We don't know who paid either of them, but the message to Gonzalez was sent via encrypted channel on the Mercurius network. That means it must be one of the higher-ups of a large publicly traded company. We don't know what was on the data stick because we haven't been cleared for access yet. Yesterday morning, an anti-Soviet terror group calling themselves the Liberators publicly broadcast a video in which they claimed responsibility for Banny's murder. They also announced a second attack within 48 hours. Their broadcast was sent from the AdSpot building. They operate all the billboards across the city. At the time the video started, the building was being guarded by a Cox security employee. We have reason to believe the perpetrator was another employee of that same company, James Moore. His wife said he went on holiday at Manami Tree Resort, but he never turned up there. We are currently running a planet-wide search for him, but without success so far. CEO of Cox Security, Albert Cox, opened fire on an agent Conrad and myself when we went to arrest him. Why were you arresting Cox? It was an order from the Attorney General. Unfortunately, Cox managed to run away and burn down large parts of his office building. He apparently had something to hide. We are searching for him as well. Do we think Cox is a key figure behind the Liberators? He is certainly involved with them in some way, but he doesn't have access to the Mercurius network. We have to assume there's some bigger fish behind Cox. What's also strange is that he is a Soviet himself. He grew up on Drovia. Our current priority is to prevent any further attacks. Callroy, I want you to support the ongoing manhunt for James Moore. Young, we brought some stuff back from Cox's office. Work your magic on it. Let us know if we find something. Saito, you keep gathering as much information as you can on our prime suspects. Conrad, you should check whether you can establish a motive why Moore would support the Liberators. Take a look at all the evidence we've got, including the information Saito put on our pinboard. Roger that. That's all for now. One last thing. Do any of you guys know how Agent Reed from the response team is going? I do. He was hit by high-velocity rounds that penetrated his vest. He can't move his right arm, and it's a long way to recovery, but he'll get there. Thanks for letting me know. We should send some flowers to the hospital. But right now, let's get to work. Come back to me when you got something. So you can find out Moore's motive. It's all the way A. It's all the way A. Maybe I don't need to take the train right now. Train's not coming, so I don't know. Guess I'm supposed to do something else. I don't know, man. I'm feeling a little bit done with this. I kind of want to know what happens, but I'm also just like starting to have trouble figuring out where I need to go. Like, see if I can find out Moore's motive. Okay. But then who do I talk to try to figure that out? That's nice that it gives you a little guide. Yeah, see, I would like to do that, but, you know. Look at the pin board. Oh. So that's in Saito's office. Which I think is up here? Nope, that's conference room. That's the chief's office. So maybe it was the room I was just in? With Gary and all them? Maybe that's also where Saito was at? Before? Is this the pin board? Yes! Alright, bank statements! Well... looked like he was having difficulty affording his, money. They also did a pregnancy test. His salary is normally 600 and he suddenly had 10,000, so that seems sus. Resistance against mind-altering drugs, extended field of view, shortened reaction time, increased hand-eye coordination. Mining professional. She's also had a fine for petty larceny. I mean, he suddenly got a huge payment and then was able to get the medicine, so yeah, I'm just gonna submit this. Just read your sheet. Looks like a motive can be established. She should pay his wife another visit. She didn't seem to know anything yesterday. Maybe she'll tell you more if you confront her with her husband's motive. Roger that. See you there. Do-do-do. Now I can finally leave. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We're gonna go. Gonna go confront his wife. Gonna run down to the train. Taking the train down. It's the other way.
Once again enveloped by the smell of the market, I thought back to the man I had been when Kat had brought me here. How did it all go so wrong? Deep down, I knew the answer. I was just too scared to commit to my family. It was so much easier to care about something that didn't have to like you back. That wouldn't go away if you didn't want it to. For me, that was my job. But ironically, protecting myself like that only made it hurt so much worse. Now that Laura was out of my reach, the pain of being separated was only amplified by the knowledge that I had missed so many opportunities to be with her.
That's the restaurant. I need to go this direction. Yo. Hello, Mrs. Moore. Oh, it's you again. Hello. Sorry to disturb you a second time. I need to ask you a few more questions. You're still after my husband? Told you he was on vacation in Femus. He isn't. We checked the ID scanners at all spaceports on Gara and Femus. He never left the planet. You must have overlooked something. Listen, I love James, but he's just a poor devil. Shouldn't the CDI be taking care of the big fish? James isn't one of them. I think you're underestimating your husband. He might be about to make a grave mistake. Did you see the Liberators video yesterday? It's hard to miss, yeah. We have reason to believe your husband is affiliated with them. Seriously, that's what you came up with? He might have sold drugs or started a fight once or twice, but this is completely out of his league. We did some research, and it seems like your husband has a strong motive. He's being paid for the attack, and he needs money to support his drug addiction. His drug addiction? Because those gross poor people are all addicts, right? James has a brain implant that makes him immune against mind-altering substances. You can look that up. It's registered augmentation. Drugs don't have any effect on him. Fine, but it looks like... I don't care what it looks like to you. You're on the wrong track. Please leave me alone now. You're wasting my time, and that's saying something. If you need a culprit, go talk to Cox. He's about rich enough to be an actual criminal. Well, I guess I missed a clue there. I wonder if his sick wife was the motive. She has a pregnancy test. But I don't really think of being pregnant as being sick. Can I go back and establish a different motive? I don't know. I haven't ever gotten anything wrong before. Other than the Cox thing, obviously. Hey, fuck. You startled me. What do you want? Check in with how your investigation's going. But not here. Too crowded. Follow me. Come on. Come on, I know a spot. This better. The hell are you doing here? Are you following me? Told you to get back to you. Anything new on our client or what they're planning to do next? Not yet. Still working on it. That's disappointing. I need some results if we're going to protect your daughter. We're making good progress. I have some stuff. You want a beer? No thanks. You out of your mind? What? You think I poisoned it or something? Thought you said humans were good. Have a little faith. I'm not drinking it. Hey, listen. I was more thinking I don't want to get wasted. You know, I thought about what you said, and I don't think I'm good, or ever have been, but I will say this. I talked to your daughter today. She's a good kid. I do not like the prospect of her getting hurt, so please don't mess up. How can you? Then get her out here, please. Willia, my boss won't let that happen. It's all in your hands. If you don't find out anything about the next target soon, we will need your help with the hack. Backdoor was set up successfully from your cell. Let's hope we won't have to use it. I have to admit that was pretty ballsy of you to protect your partner like that. You could even call it selfless. I don't think there's such a thing. No matter what you tell yourself at the end of the day, you do what you do for your own gain. Sometimes a few layers are moved, but in the end, it's all selfishness with extra steps. I disagree. It's a convenient way to justify the fucked up things you do. Nihilism can be used like a shield, just like faith. It's convenient to say nothing matters because it makes being in the world hurt a little less. But even if you don't like the thought of harming Laura, do you? I think you're doing your best to ignore your conscience. You'll have to face it at some point. Not if I die first. Well, this has been fun. Break's over. I have some business to take care of. Checking again soon. Wait, how do I get back down? Not from here, right? No. How do I get back to the train? I don't know. Why? That's the way into the restaurant. So that's her apartment. So I need to go back down to go to the train. It's down. Down. Down some more. Okay. Got it. Conrad, how'd it go? Any news from Moore's wife? No, not really. If Moore is behind this, she doesn't know about it. Fuck. The attack's going down tomorrow morning. We still have no clue what it's going to be. How's it possible we don't get a grip on these fuckers? Looks like the only thing we do is ramp up security all over Gara and hope they won't go through with their attack. Go home, get some sleep. Talk to you later. Well, I messed up. And because of the way this game works, I cannot go back and fix it. So we just have to deal with the consequences. Yeah, implant that prevents drug addiction. I do remember seeing that. Dependence on substances, I think, was how they phrased it. Which would make sense that he would have that substance if he was, you know, in the mines or whatever. Oh, it's probably the wife's addiction, I just realized. Because the wife is the one who's a minor. So it was her drugs. Go home and get some sleep, huh? Pretty sure home is to the right. Hi, I'm a failure. So scared. What if those people are lying? What if they never plan on letting her go? I've talked to them. They've assured me they're only after the data. They'll keep their word. Tell you what, if we don't have her back by tomorrow, I'll come clean and ask the DI for help. Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. Hey, Neil. I'm glad I'm not alone in this. Same. Kind of missed talking to you over the last few years. So sorry I didn't spend more time with you and Laura. I just couldn't. It hurt. I know how selfish that sounds, and it is. It sucks. No, I understand. I can relate. I always asked you to take care of Laura more, but sometimes I felt like doing it by myself was easier than seeing you again and again. Aw. I'll get home and catch some sleep. See you tomorrow. Okay, see you. We might not catch the bad guys, but maybe I will reconcile with my ex-wife. We got emails. This is Ed, guy from the harbor. Wanted to thank you again for buying my spot back. Had a beer in the herring tonight. I'll buy you one too if you're ever at the harbor. Yeah. Escalation on Drovia. The aftermath of Banny's death, the shocking announcement broadcast by his murderers, situation on Drovia has come to a head. Large demonstrations and violent clashes with security, some of which were allegedly instigated by Soviet front members, have rocked the colony over the past 24 hours. Multiple stores, most of them Garian-owned, have been demolished and looted. Protesters were holding signs demanding Drovian self-governance. Others warned of repercussions for Garian murderers. In a statement this afternoon, Prime Minister Marov ordered the protesters to refrain from violence, but also assured them the Gara was see severe consequences for what transpired. Meanwhile, Garian Soviet Council urged President Robertson to do everything in his power to prevent any further attacks and anything else that could escalate the situation. Soviets and Gara are fearing for their lives, spokesperson Ivan Broker said. We've heard many reports of people staying home instead of going to school or work because they are terrified. Gara's authorities and terrorism experts seem baffled by Liberators' sudden emergence. They came out of nowhere, said Willard, expert on political extremism at Melina University. They did not emerge from an existing known movement, which is very rare and frankly strange. Ah, we're getting the zoom out. Hopefully this time I can actually go home and go to bed.
You may be asking yourself how I remained functional throughout all of this. How I didn't just collapse under the pressure and the looming prospect of losing my daughter forever. I think the truth is that over the years, I had gotten really, really good at tuning out the voice that always tormented me, that had always told me horrible shit. This was just adding to it. More to repress, more bubbling beneath the surface. Maybe if it had gone on for long enough, I would have imploded sooner or later.
Hey, she's back. She beat me home. Zora, what's it this time? Still nothing new on the next attack? No, I need a little more time. My boss is starting to think we may have picked the wrong guy to work with. He decided to give your morale a little boost. No, please leave Laura alone. Neil, I told you I didn't call the shots. My boss is getting impatient. She was moved from her room to one of our interrogation cells. It's pretty damp and cold in there, just a matter of time till she gets sick. You fucking monsters. If she gets harmed in this, Neil, I will find the guy, okay? Tomorrow. Give me till tomorrow. Neil, listen to me. Forget this guy. This is taking too long. New plan. We're willing to give you one last chance. We have to rely on that back door to the CDI network after all. Taking the data back seems to be the best way to get our money right now, but we need your help to go through with it. Here's how it will go. So I'm guessing if I had gotten the information out of Moore, with her being sick, we might have been able to not have to use the back door. At 7 o'clock tonight, our hackers will commence the attack, but it will only work if we have someone who is physically at a CDI computer at that time. A new user named 4x458 will pop up and request admin privileges that you'll have to grant. Zora, I have no idea what that means or how it works. I don't even know if my account can do that. I was afraid you'd say that. Guess we'll have to ask a system administrator to help you out. How do you think that'll go? Hey, IT, could you help me invite some hackers into our network? Isn't there someone on your team you can ask? Someone who will believe you if you'll tell them you're doing the right thing? You know, you're talking about Saito. I can't. What if he says no? That's for you to figure out. You're good with words. Force him if you have to. Once we're in, we won't have much time until we're kicked from the system automatically. We'll have mere seconds to navigate to the right folder. In order to make it time, we need to have an idea where to find the data, for which, in turn, we'll have to know what that data is. How's the sheet going I sent you? Making progress. I'm not sure if I have all the information I need. Hurry up. You need to submit by 1900 so we can start the hack. You know what? I'm not doing any of this. I'm not asking you this time. You're not cooperating out. This is it for Laura. I'm sorry. I'll call you once you send me the sheet. Make sure you're on a CDI computer with your friend to let us in. Put it on a stick and hand it to us at 11 at night, sending coordinates to our meeting spot. Guess I don't have the option to refuse. It's a bit further out, so make sure you're on your way in time. If we get the data tonight, I'll promise you'll have Laura back tomorrow. It'll be the last thing we ask of you. How am I supposed to believe you let Laura go? You can't know. You have to take my word for it. If you drag Saito into it and he tells anyone, I'll lose my job. I'll probably go to prison. Throw me a bone. I need to know she'll be fine if I do this. Tell me if it makes a difference to you. It can't mean nothing to you to take a young life. It isn't up to me. You keep saying that, but isn't it really? Do you have zero control over what happens? If you can do something, please tell me it isn't all the same to you if she lives or dies. Do what I say and she'll live, okay? But what if things go south? If Saito won't help me? If we don't have the right folder? Keep dodging the question. Tell me a human life is some value to you. It would end at some point anyway. Oh, give me a break. Everything is so easy if it doesn't mean anything. Whatever. Your badge and gun betray you. You're a murderer like me. You're wrong about that. There's only one person whose death I'm directly responsible for. And you know what? It fucks me up. It's been years, and it still fucks me up. Is that so? I was chasing down a perp in a car, lost control and crashed into a building. The woman inside was dead on the spot, so quickly she couldn't feel any pain or fear. It's what they said to me. And they didn't put you away for it? No. No, they didn't. Look, most people are garbage. There's a good chance the world is better off without her. You trying to console me? No, it's just a statistical fact. Wouldn't you agree the world is better off without most people in it? Human life has inherent value. A bad person can always change. I've said what I came here to say. You know what needs to be done. Zora. Hey, Horace. How's it going? Alrighty, we're gonna go to sleep and try to sleep on that. Gotta hack into the CDI tomorrow.
After I woke up, I stared at the ceiling for a while. Zora's words rang in my head. 7 o'clock tonight. I had to do what they asked of me, but I wasn't sure where the data they wanted was stored. I was running out of time. I sat up and made a decision. The sheet on the Liberators. I needed to complete it now. I had a feeling that all the puzzle pieces were there. If I found out who was in charge of the Liberators, I might finally understand what the data was all about and where to look for it. Or maybe I could force them to pay Zora's boss so he'd let Laura go.
Submit the sheet, huh? Honestly, they say that I have all the pieces, but I really don't feel like I do. Like, probably. That's probably right. But I have no idea. It's interesting that it says case closed and it doesn't say that it's incorrect. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna call it there. It's 11 o'clock. Let's see if we can raid somebody. Thank you for joining me on this continued noir adventure. Who is on today? Who is on today? I guess we can raid Funny Godmother. She's playing Pokemon trading card game. Couldn't find anything genre similar. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and please be sure to stay safe. Have a good one.